radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, Fade to Black. All right. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. Today's Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. 264 days into the new year, only 101 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of nowhere, a total undisclosed location. But it is beautiful. It's going to take a major disaster for me to change my tone because it's so nice in here. Love hanging out in this room with all of you. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? I'm in a great mood. Amazing day today. Just an amazing day. Yeah. I was thinking about, going on histories with the mystery paradigm shifts. I gotta say, and I was talking to Ray Hobbs earlier today about Christina Gomez, and I said, and he said, man, Church, what were you doing when you were her age? I said, you know what? I wish I was doing this. She's got a leg up, man, and it's really fun doing her show, and I know, I realize that I'm somebody that's done a lot of research and I seem to know a lot about a lot. Smoke and mirrors. It's just smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. But that's the truth. But I have spent a lot of time studying this and being able to share that with her and her audience is so much fun. But the other part of it is one of the things, and this is what put me in such a great mood today. I think Christina and her audience, because they're around her because of who she is, and that's the audience, right? That's the show. That they have that new look on things where they're just right. They're just discovering and reading and jumping into it. And so when you do that, and I was kind of explaining this today. You've got a narrow view, and you are on the original correct view, somewhat the dogma view, and you read, and then everything just splinters off from there, and you go into all of these different zones from whatever the subject is, and that is what is great because I get to hear her take. And then I get to go off on my cranky, jaded take on things after being where she is and her audience is now. It's so much fun. I mean, wow, just a great time. Puts me in the right focus for the rest of the day, and then I get to come on here and just slide off the rails. Oh man! So anyway, but if you missed it, I'm sure she's got it up. But go and check it out. Today we chatted about remote viewing. And I mean, just what a fantastic subject. Something that, as all of you know, I've been fascinated with for a very long time. I've done my share of research and been down that rabbit hole and back. But it was a great show today. So everybody go and check that out. Now, continuing our week this week of 3 first-time guests. 3 first-time guests. Tough to do in this world. When you go and you bust out, someday I'll give, if you haven't done this, go into our archives, if you remember, Fade to Black, right? Go into the Fade or Not membership section, scroll down, and look at the amount of shows and who the guests were over the years. Go and do that. If you can't do that, go to YouTube, scroll down. And look at those. What's the show number today? We're closing in on 1,500. 1,500 shows. Go to, if you're a member of our podcast, every show is there. Go back, scroll, and look. And when you bag that many shows on anything, and still do, which is always my quest, a week of first-time guests. Holy crap. I love it, and that's what we are in the middle of this week. Last night, Vivian Chauvet. Woofa. Tonight, Starseed Oracle, Krista Raisa is here. Also for the first time. Tomorrow night, the Lost History Explorer himself on this very program, Timothy Alberini. And then, of course, Thursday night's Fader Night with open lines all night long. That's an amazing week on the show. We've got a great night coming up. So get ready for all of that. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Just go and do that. Somebody asked me this weekend. I kind of mentioned it a little bit last night. I dabbed on it. But no, actually, it happened more than once. And somebody came up to me and said, Jimmy, here at the conference, why don't you announce your Twitter? Right? Give out your Twitter. Nah, I don't need to do that. And then somebody else came up and said, why aren't you, I've been watching you present all weekend. You did the opening ceremonies. You're doing all this stuff. Mention Fade to Black. Mention JimmyChurchRadio.com. Nah. I'm here for the community. I'm here for this. I'm here for the Conscious Life Expo. And if somebody's hip to what I do, great. If not, great. It's no big deal. If they're interested and something is there and they want to go and do a Google search and go and find things out on their own, they can do that. I'm not here for self-promotion. And I promote on this show, but everybody's already here listening anyway. So what good does that do? But you can follow me right now at JChurch Radio right there on Twitter. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. I say it often. I say it loud. I say it proud. We don't bite. Come over and hang out with us right there in the sandbox, live and in real time. Twitter's always live to my right. It's right here. How live is it? Ken Priest just posted Matthew McConaughey 1 minute ago. Great gift. All right. Is he going to run for governor? Is he still going to do that in the great state of Texas? Man, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. All right, hashtag F2B on Twitter right there. Hashtag F2BQ is Fade to Black questions on Twitter. Hello to everybody watching us all around the world. Tonight is Chop Chop Night over in YouTube. So what I am going to be doing is I'm going to jump over to YouTube during the commercial breaks. I'm going to scroll back, and I'm going to pick somebody that just steps out of line just a little bit. Like, something like, I don't like the red guitar with the white stripe in the background. Chop. Kicked out. I mean, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So tonight is chop night. I'm letting everybody know, if you're trolling, better behave. I'm coming after you. Troll my guitars. Say something. Say you don't like. I don't like the black foam on his microphone. Chop. That's right. That's right. Okay. So tonight is Chop Night over on YouTube. It is going to be fantastico. And I haven't been able to figure out how to unchop somebody. So you chop tonight, you're forever gone. Let's get to the breaking news. Wally the Walrus. Unbelievable. Are you ready for this? Wally the Walrus, who was previously spotted in Ireland, in France, in Spain, and of course all over the United Kingdom, has now turned up in Iceland. Yeah, man. Wally had not been seen for more than 3 weeks, with spotters saying that they were starting to lose hope of ever seeing him again, and people were getting pretty bummed out the search was on. However, Seal Rescue Ireland said he had been seen in Iceland this past Sunday after 22 straight days of no sightings. How crazy is that? Now listen to this. Wally, they've logged it all in. Wally has traveled 2,485 miles before reaching Ireland. And with the new sighting in Iceland, it now means that he has swam an additional 560 miles from his last known location in Cork, Ireland. 3,000 miles. That's L.A. to New York and back to like Indianapolis. 3,000 miles. Absolutely unbelievable. And which means, you know, and now you see where Cork, Ireland is. Here's Ireland. You know, Cork is down on the south side. So he swam around Ireland and then darted north a little west. I mean, Iceland's right there. It's 600 miles away. I thought it was 1,000 miles away. It's 600 miles away. It's closer than I thought. But anyway, swims around Ireland and darts up and lands in Iceland. I guess he had to go back home. Honey. I hope he brought gifts. Incredible. All right. Crazy news broke today. George Holiday. George was the man who shot that video of the Los Angeles Police Department officers beating Rodney King more than 30 years ago. George Holiday, man, he's on the patio, his apartment. He looks across the street. He goes, man, that doesn't look quite right. He happened to have a camcorder, grabs it and videotapes probably the most famous video in the history of the world. Shot that video more than 30 years ago. But he has died of COVID-19. He died in Simi Valley, California at the age of 61. Absolutely incredible. After all of that, COVID took him down. Incredible. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today, the one and only Bill Murray. Bill Murray is 71. Incredible. Stephen King today is 74. Thought about this. Well, I thought about Bill Murray too. Greatest Bill Murray movie. And, I mean, where do you go with that? Yeah. Man, I just got to go Caddyshack. You know, and there's so many great movies, right? What do you do? Meatballs? Yeah, right? Okay, I get that. Anything on Saturday Night Live, I get Ghostbusters. I understand. I do. But Caddyshack. And then with Stephen King, what do you do with that? The Shining. You just stop right there. Alfonso Ribeiro today is 50. Only 50. That's right. Carlton Banks on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Liam Gallagher is 49, Oasis. Now, I'm going to say, can I say this? I'm going to talk some music here in a little bit. Liam Gallagher, lead vocalist, brother, right? Now, before we go through this, songwriting for Oasis, yes, I get that. His brother, I get that. But would Oasis be Oasis without Liam's vocals? Could somebody else have come in and done that? I don't think so. I don't. I love me some Liam Gallagher. I think he's totally great. Don Felder today is 74. Same thing, right? Angry guy, great guitar player. Guitar solo for Hotel California. Double neck Gibson, right? We all know that. But he got his butt kicked out of the Eagles. He's 74. He was great on Joe Walsh's live album, though. You can't argue with the sick mind. Go and listen to that. Don Felder tearing it up. Now, one of my favorites of all time today, Corinne Drury, is 62. Swing Out Sister. That's right. Breakout. 1986, that video came out, that song came out. I thought it was magic. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was one of the best songs ever written. I still do. And I was in love with Corinne Drury. And still am. 62 years old. Happy birthday, Corinne. And there you go. Our dead guy's birthday today is Filthy Animal Phil Taylor. 1954 to 2015, died at the age of 61. Phil was the drummer for Motorhead from 1975 to 1984. And 1987 and 1992, recording 11 studio albums and 4 live albums. The Motorhead lineup of Filthy, Lemmy, and Fast Eddie Clark is and was the classic lineup of the band. No question about that. None. And I did some hanging out with Phil back in the day. I'll never forget the first time he walked in my apartment. Oh, man. Okay, anyway. I mean, just legend. Legendary. Phil died on November 12, 2015 in London of liver failure at the age of 61. Lemmy died on December 28, 2015, less than 7 weeks after Filthy. And on January 10th, 2018, Fast Eddie Clark also died, leaving none of the classic Ace of Spades era Motorhead lineup alive. Absolutely incredible. They're all gone. On this day in history, OTD, 1949. Mao Zedong announces that the new Chinese government will be under the leadership of the Communist Party of China. On this day in 1949. Fader fact. In 1949, Popular Mechanics magazine, right? The prophets of the future. They never get it wrong. In 1949, Popular Mechanics predicted that computers were the future, and they got that part right. They said that they would dramatically shrink in size. They got that right, too. This is where they got it wrong. They said, I'm quoting, and eventually they may only have 1,000 vacuum tubes and weigh 1.5 tons. Now, back then, compared to the ENIAC, which had 18,000 tubes and weighed 30 tons, all right. Well, if you think about it, just 45 short years later, 1995, we had a laptop with Windows 95. That's the part that Popular Mechanics didn't quite get right. All right. Tonight, very special guest, Starseed Oracle Krista Raisa is here. First-time guest. Tomorrow night, the Lost History Explorer himself, Timothy Alberini, wraps up this week of three first-time guests. Thursday night's another Fader night with open lines all night long. Now, let me hit this River Moon coffee. Man, I'm thinking zombies. Oh, man. That's awesome, Ken. Zombieland. That's right. They break into Bill Murray's house. Yeah, that was pretty good. Bill Murray as the zombie. That was pretty good. Who was doing Elvis in that movie? Man, Can't remember. Anyway, rivermoonwellness.com. Banners are at jimmychurchradio.com. Oh, man. When it's good, right? All right, I want to talk some music. I want to talk about Jimmy Page. But before I get there, hummingbirds are a trip. Hummingbirds are a trip. I'm just going to make this brief. I've got 2 hummingbird feeders, one in the front yard on the patio, one in the backyard on the patio. And hummingbirds are cute, and they just look so precious, and they're tiny, and they're frail, and and I love it when they come up and they're right in front of your face. They'll look right in your eyes. They'll just and look right at you, check you. They're checking you, and they're looking right in your eyeballs, but they're checking you. Anyway, they're not cute. Well, I mean, they're cute to look at, but that's a representative. That's no, man. Hummingbirds are a trip. So this is what's going on. And I don't know if this is a territorial thing, like, a certain geographic location in the country, hummingbirds are different than they are somewhere else in the country and stuff. Maybe there's a kinder, gentler hummingbird species out there. Maybe there's lots of them. Where I live, this is gangsta. I've got OG hummingbirds running around. And I started noticing this in the backyard. I'm just going to make this really quick. So in the trees in the backyard, a hummingbird feeder's hanging in the back patio. It's up a little high. It's right there, right? I've got this dude that sits about 20 yards away on the same branch up high in the yard. I can walk out there and I can see him. He's always there. Tiny little cruiser. He's right there, chirping up there. Anybody flies in the yard, whoom, he swoops down, chases them out of the yard. If somebody makes it to the feeder, it's on. It's go time. And in the front yard, and so now it's going down in the front yard. It's not the same dude. So I went in the backyard today. Dude's in the backyard. I got another dude in the front yard that sits. I've got a bunch of trees. It's shady out there. There must be 100 hummingbirds in these 2 trees. You hear them, you see them. This dude sits right down in front of the tree and just sits there all day long. Anybody comes up. So today I'm sitting out there drinking my coffee in the morning and I'm watching 5 hummingbirds go at it. Nobody got to the food. Making no, it was crazy. I'm just like, I thought you guys are supposed to be cute, fun, and friendly and share. No, man. Hummingbirds are a trip. All right. I wanted that to be really brief because today I watched this Jimmy Page presentation in comments, and it's called, I want you guys to check it out. It's called, you can find it on YouTube. It's called Jimmy Page, Full Address and Q&A at the Oxford Union. Now, this was posted back in 2017. It's like 1 million views, right? It's not new, but it's great. And this is the thing. Jimmy, although he's yapping, stayed mysterious. Stayed right there. There were questions, honest, real questions, thrown at him that he did the dance on. So somebody says, you've been into spirituality and things. Can you explain to us your involvement with the Golden Dawn? And I was like, oh. And Jimmy's like, that's a great question. And I'm like, okay. Aleister Crowley's house, Aleister Crowley, Loch Ness, right? The ceremonies, the things. What went on in that house? How did you write your song? Oh, right? Golden Dawn. And Jimmy goes, Okay, hold on a minute. He danced around the entire question and reference, I'm paraphrasing, I've always been interested in spirituality since I was a little kid, when I read into it, there's a lot of big personalities that were involved in it, and I was interested, and, I did a little bit of reading. That's it. I thought he was going to mention Crowley. Didn't do it. And didn't mention, so I moved into Alistair's house, and I was, I'm reading the books, and so I buy his house. I'm into it, man. I got dragons on my thing, and nothing. Now, I want you to go and watch, because it's great. He says some stuff in there that is fantastically amazing, and as a fan, as a fanatic, it's fantastical, and it's really cool. But then he says, somebody goes, so what about, when you play, whatever it was, play Stairway to Heaven backwards, it says, I love Satan. And he's like, great question. But, we're spending so much time recording going forwards and writing songs going forwards, too much work to do something backwards. Now, funny, everybody laughed, but with the Golden Dawn and everything else and Crowley and the satanic stuff and the references and things in the past, let's talk about that. And he didn't do it. Jimmy remains a mystery. And everything that he talks about in this, and there's some great stuff, skiffle groups. He skips over everything. Going from a studio musician to the Yardbirds, it was like it just happened. He doesn't say what, when, where, who, mentions Jeff Beck one. That doesn't really say anything, and he goes, so I left the Yardbirds, a second time they crashed, and we started Led Zeppelin, and, that was it. Well, what's the story there? And it was really interesting. So you get to the end of it, and it's long, and it's great, and I enjoyed it. But he's a bigger mystery now than when he was when he sat down. You guys got to go and check it out. That whole Aleister Crowley thing that was right there in front of him, and I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, here we go. Just go and watch it for yourself. It's incredible. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, right here, Starseed Oracle, Krista Raisa is here. She is here for the first time. Tomorrow night, the Lost History Explorer, Timothy Alberini, is here, wrapping up this week of three first-time guests. Thursday night's another Fader night with open lines all night long. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's going to be a great night. You stay right there on the Game Changer Network. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. I'll be right back after this short break with our guest, Krista Raisa. Stay right there.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on jimmychurchradio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. with wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2B Blend for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRAradio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at gettheti.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to gettheti.com. That's gettheti.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. Gettheti.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's gettheti.com. Gettheti.com. The tea that makes you go.
Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Matthew. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Three first-time guests this week. Amazing. Tonight, Krista Raisa joins us for the first time. We're going to be discussing the film Extraordinary, The Revelations. We'll get to that. And the Orion Council, we're going to get into some of that too as well. We're going to talk about her. This is going to be an amazing conversation, so just sit right there. She's an oracle. Her card decks are based off of 10,000 readings and over 10 years experience serving the Starseeded community. Starseeds, well, wait a minute. I almost gave the definition. I'm going to save that for her. But she is one of these souls. Her mission began channeling the Orion Council in a parking lot of Whole Foods. What? In New Jersey. What? I thought there was a Whole Foods in Finland. We will get to that in just a second. Since then,
She have reached over 2.5 million people and continues to work right here in Sedona, Arizona. The Orion Council material is now a self-published book series on Amazon. Her websites and YouTube channel are over at jimmychurchradio.com. And I would like to welcome for the first time to Fade to Black, Krista Raisa. Krista, how you doing?
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
It's pretty good over here. But this is the deal, Krista. You get the first-time guest disclaimer, which is this. It's just you and I sitting on my couch as friends having a conversation. And where that conversation starts, it starts. Where it ends. But we're going to end as friends.
This sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an even trade. It's an even trade. You know what? Finland.
Let's start with Finland.
And crazy country, out of control Finland. Right.
6 million crazy people.
6 million. Yeah.
Snow bears.
Yeah. Off the charts. No ethics, no morals. Just in Finland, right?
People in Finland are very, very smart, and they spend a lot of time in the snow. I think that's what happens because it purifies their soul.
Now, there is a certain image of Finland, whatever it is, okay, but there's a certain image around the world. And here you are on this show tonight as a Starseed Oracle. Do you represent Finland? And do the people of Finland understand, people like us?
Oh, sure. I make hip-hop songs in Finnish language. It's a very cool sounding language, a lot of rakasta, taka sounds. Very Japanese-like, very organized, very real. They're old souls. And they kind of have something to say about Americans. They think it's all hamburgers and bacon over here. So it's, you're kind of in the middle, like being an extraterrestrial, you're in between two worlds. You're in between that Nordic and you're in between that closer to the equator type of culture. People are louder here. People are more in your face.
Right. Wait a minute. No bacon and burgers in Finland?
Not really.
Oh.
Bear meat.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
You're gonna see canned bear meat in Lapland because that's what's up, and then some cranberry stuff in the sauna, just normal.
Okay. Well, cranberry in the sauna. Okay, I can cut bear meat in a can.
It's sold.
Really? Man, I think of Finland, I think of Sweden, I think of structure, organized, cultural freedoms, right?
Oh, don't tell them that you think of Sweden. That's really bad in hockey because they always want to win in hockey. So Sweden is really, really good,
right?
And yeah, Finland's right between Russia and Sweden. So Finland is very much about sisu, which is now a term that's come over to America, which has to do with strength. So there was this movie, The Last Dragon, with the rapper Aquafina, and she plays a dragon. She does a voiceover for a dragon called Sisu, and that's that inner strength, and that's how they won the Winter War against Russia. So Finland's very much about, this is Finnish.
This is Finnish. And so... you don't really want to think about things like IKEA. IKEA is not Finland.
Swedish.
I understand it's Swedish, but what I'm saying is that
face palm.
Yeah, that mentality, it's two different common border maybe, but not necessarily the same culturally. And I'm not trying to be naive here, but
not at all. It's the West Coast. The West Coast of Finland is very Swedish, and the East Coast is very Russian. And they're genetically as different as Swedes are from Italians. Genetically, yeah.
And the
music's different.
The capital of Finland is Helsinki. And where did you live? Where did you grow up?
About 2 hours from Helsinki, and then up by the border. I went to school in Karelia.
And so, like, where Santa Claus is.
Yeah, pretty much Santa Claus. Well, I shook Santa Claus' hand.
Of course you did. He's from Finland. I mean,
yes.
So, and I'm kind of having fun with this here. I've got a lot of friends in Finland. I've got a lot of friends in Sweden, and we talk a lot. And I tease them so much because of, yes, it's the snow, it's the food, it's the culture, it's everything else. But isolated, right? Not influenced too much from other, like Western Europe, all of that. You guys have always chosen to do your own thing, or have tried to for a long time.
Absolutely. It's amazing how 6 million people can function so well. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah, there's is there more people in Iceland than Finland?
No way, can't be.
Well, but I mean, 6 million people. That's it, right?
That's it.
Yeah, I have 6 million neighbors within a couple of miles from me where I live. I mean, and 6 million people in the entire country. So, and the reason why I'm speaking of all of this, when with what you do today, did this develop? Did the contact start in Finland?
Oh, well, the spirituality started there, the weird stuff.
Yes, exactly. And
Sure.
And can I get you to just back up maybe an inch or two off of the mic? Yeah, there you go, right there. She's trying to be like me. She's trying to
Facepalm.
facepalm. The spirituality side of things. Did you have a circle of friends there? Were you no? I'm not saying this. I mean, were you able to talk about these things? And here there is a group of friends for anything that you want to do. Did you have that in Finland?
Retirees. They were my friends. Yeah, they had a tea meeting. How would you say?
Yeah.
These were the people who hooked up the UFO guys. I'm not sure what to call it. A healing circle?
Okay.
A meetup, yeah.
Right. How many?
About 7, 8, 9.
And how old were you?
I was 24.
You were 24. Were you having contact before then?
Not extraterrestrial contact, but communications through the astral plane from a group called Aurora, which may be extraterrestrial.
Explain.
Right, when you're trying to be mediumistic on your own by yourself, you have to make your minds passive to get the messages. And that started happening during NaNoWriMo, National Writers Month of November. So I was an English major, just writing a little story in my free time about gnomes. And it feels like you're making it up. But when you start to get impressions, as they call it,
right,
it's not your mind, that's how I knew it was starting.
And this is great. What do you do when stuff like that starts? Do you seek a therapist? Right? Are you thinking, is this normal? What am I going through here? Is this voices in my head? What was going through your mind?
Right. Well, therapy happens if you ever start throwing stuff. Go to therapy. You might be possessed. But no. You consult the oracle, and that's why I do them. You look at your oracle cards and you pick an oracle card and it says Saint Germain, and then you look at your Ascended Masters book that falls on the floor and it says Saint Germain.
Right.
And you go, okay, that really happened.
Right. And how many people don't turn on the aware switch, right? To recognize what is happening right now.
The people who don't humble themselves to work with the teacher, who freak out,
right,
who don't listen and get too emotional, the people who are frightened, then the communication most likely stops unless they're gifted. Now,
I want to say this. The film Extraordinary, The Revelations is it's a great film. It's not a great film because my friends made it. It's not a great film what I'm just not just saying it. It's a great film, and your presence in this film is bleeping amazing. And when you see your presence and the way that you speak in this film, you're intelligent, you're grounded, and you're spilling information. It's just coming out of you. But, and there's always a but you look very young. You do. And I think that most people, and I want to get this out of the way because people are going to go and see this film and they're going to see you. So they need to know this right now. When I watch the film, and I've known of you for a while, and I've got a lot of friends that have brought you up, and I'm so happy that you're in the film. But I'm watching the film like, how old is she? This is an old soul. But I was thinking, and I'm thinking early to mid 20s, right? And I think even then I was being a little bit generous. And then you and I are talking later, and the way that you carry yourself and hold yourself, I was a bit perplexed. But today I found out how old you are. So I want how old? How old
we can
are?
keep it at 20. We can keep it at 22.
Yeah, we can keep it at 22. But how old are you?
I'm 35. No lie.
35.
35.
Is that Finland? Is that the snow? Is that the water? And
it's the air.
Right? Okay, so
grandma, yeah.
And I'm not making light of this. Because when everybody sees the film, they're going to understand exactly what I am saying here. But your knowledge comes from many years. This isn't something that just happened. And I need to make that point. They may, they're going to see somebody on the screen and not maybe understand fully what's going on here. So I really need to make that point. I'm saying you look great.
Thank you. I'm no seeker, see. I appreciate that because I'm no seeker. And you giving me that respect, so that means the world. That means the world to all those people hiding in the closet like me with a little altar and a Buddha.
Yes. No, but that's exactly my point. So I needed to get, when everybody watches the film and they come to your section, just think about this show, everybody, and just kind of do a little rewind, and they're going to go, I get it. I totally understand why Jimmy had to take the time on the show to discuss this. So now I've got that out of the way. Okay. The Starseed, you're so funny.
You saw that.
The Starseed part of this, this is a term that I think is bandied about a little bit too loosely these days, and the people that use the word may not fully understand what they are saying, number one. And number two, the people that hear it, because it comes at them from so many different directions, they don't understand what Starseed means. And there was a TV show called People of Earth, and they go to this UFO conference. It's a comedy, right? But in the background, there's a Starseed booth, right? A Starseed booth. Like, who does that, right? With the Starseed banner. And there's this comment, well, where's so-and-so? Oh, they're over at the Starseed booth. And I thought to myself, that's an example of this term, this word, that clearly needs a definition that is now just out there in pop culture like this, right? So that's why I didn't want to do that at the beginning of the show. Krista, what is a starseed?
Jimmy, I think you're a psychic starseed yourself, because when we were doing sound check, I had the T-shirt on, and people get the T-shirt esoteric shop I had. It's called Starseed definition. A starseed, I'll tell you guys, is 4 things. It is somebody who has natural, supernatural experience. And number 2, it's somebody who's had lifetimes on other planets. Number 3, it's somebody who's an experiencer. And number 4 is somebody who's aware of their multidimensionality. I know that's a lot. I know it's a lot. So I just want a T-shirt. You can get it on a mug. But it's this is a becoming popular, right? It's becoming a buzzword.
It is, and it's like I said, it's an easy thing to say. Oh, I'm a starseed. Are you really? Do you understand what you are saying here? Right?
I don't know if they know. How to really know is the question. To ask yourself that. To take that time and ask yourself, why am I saying this? Are you actually having access to your own galactic memories because you've activated layer 5 of your 5th chakra? Or did you watch the YouTube tarot lady say it and you want to be that?
Yes, exactly. This is going to be the best show ever on Fade to Black tonight. And Vivian, did you hear Vivian's show last night?
I can't wait to hear it.
Okay, because we discuss this right here. And Vivian clearly defines herself as a hybrid. And she said one thing last night that I thought was really strong. She said, I'm probably the only one of me, right? Okay, all right. But what about star seeds? And so we started to get into that, and she was saying star seeds are everywhere. And I thought that was great. And I feel the difference in people around me, as certainly in the generations below me, where the lights are clearly turned on, right? Alert. They get it. They understand. They have an open mind. And they seem to have a grounded intelligence that I never had at that age. Do you feel the same thing? Do you see it?
Do I see myself as Homo noeticus, as Mary Rodwell calls it,
right,
in Extraordinary? Yeah, from Homo sapiens, Homo novus, Homo noeticus. I cannot say, oh, I'm a Homo noeticus. But you've heard of those crystal child indigo titles?
Yes.
Yes. So in the 70s, they said the indigos came. They came after World War II, but the star people have been coming here since World War II, so 1940s.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and they're coming in these waves. If you've ever heard of Dolores Cannon's hypnotic regressions, she identified those classifications of souls incarnating. However, if you're talking about someone who's been taken upon a craft to get an upgrade, to get an implant, to get fixed and helped out somehow, is that a starseed? For sure. If Earth recognizes that there's been extraterrestrial influence here for millions of years, okay, sure, everyone's a starseed. But the ayahuasca people, now they have something interesting to say.
And what is that?
They're saying that when those who are the starseed take the ayahuasca, clear enough layers of their consciousness, they get the download, they get the truth, they get the clarity and the knowingness, which basically means that they're receiving information on a DNA level from some higher dimension, telling themselves who they are. Mm-hmm. And then they are able to have the psychic clairvoyance to see if somebody else has incarnated more times on Earth or more times on other planets. And I think that's what it means to be a starseed, because you actually miss your home planet. You feel like this isn't your home, Earth, so much. You like it and you love it, but you feel like you have connections and plugs out there in the galaxy.
Is that the same for you?
Yeah, it's a feeling, yeah. And you don't understand if you don't have your memories activated. You don't understand. You have these stirrings in your emotional body.
Right.
Which is not, it's only a one layer of proof.
Right. Well, that was Finland, though. Finland will do that to you. And so what about the change in environment, going from Finland to the Whole Foods market, right, in New Jersey, to Sedona? Is there a freedom there? Do you feel more connected with this planet in a location like Sedona, which is, 100% sacred?
That's so funny. It so is, no sarcasm. When you move from tundra climate to the swamps of New Jersey to the dry desert heat, you're dealing with elevation. You're going up 6,000 feet. You're learning new oxygen levels. And so, right, you're going from way up by the North Pole toward closer to a tropical climate, excuse me.
Yes.
And that's where I was more relaxed, obviously, with Mom. I could be the most relaxed spiritually with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think that maybe the Orion Council kind of knew that.
Mm-hmm.
And they made sure to contact with her.
Right. That is so fascinating to me. Now, when we come back, I want to get to the original channeling with the Orion Council, and how that went down, and how life changed at that point. And we'll do all of that when we come back after this short break. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What? I see that. I do. Yeah. We're going to do all of that. You guys don't know. I do. But you're going to find out when we come back. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. Tonight, Krista Raisa joins us for the first time. Tomorrow night, right here, Timothy Alberino. All three guests this week, first-time guests, all three stars in the new film Extraordinary, The Revelations. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30daysfree on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network. KGRADB.com.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black Blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B Blend for 15% off of your order today.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're also Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I just chopped. I told you, one little thing, just one little thing, out, gone. I love it. Our guest tonight, Krista Raisa. And now, Krista, a couple of things before we move forward. And yeah, we're going to get to that definition. Okay, we're going to do that in just a second. But I just want to say this. I want to congratulate you. And in that, we went to the premiere of Extraordinary, The Revelations, and we had so much fun taking pictures. But that was later, okay? Watching the film in a theater like that for the first time, how did that go for you during the film?
Mimi and I were sitting there filming the film, and I told Patrick that we edited his edits, for social media, but
right.
It was so cool.
And I, as the film ended, I felt pretty good, for the team, for everybody. I was like, okay.
Really?
Well, I'm nervous. We all were. You can't say that you're not, of course. But we get to the end. I'm like, okay, all right, that's something to be proud of. And then we're outside and answering questions and hanging out and talking to each other. We were all in a pretty good mood. But what we didn't know then, like what we know now, is that the film commission decided that it was a great film too, and gave the film the Best Documentary Award. And that's pretty cool to get recognized, by the man, because our community never gets something like this. And that must make you feel pretty good.
And the guy flipped out of the theater. He said, "This is the best movie I've ever seen." He said, "Yeah, each of those people could have told their own story." I was blown away at, first of all, what three Virgos can do together, but how it was received.
Yes.
This psychology is genius. Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yes. And there was another approach to this film that you contributed to greatly, which is not specifically talking about
starseeds being abducted and hybrid human programs while going around the planet Jupiter in a mothership, right? That's not what the film was about. The film was about how this planet can understand disclosure and contact and what it means for the future of humanity on an emotional level. That's what the film is about. And do you think that the world is ready for this? And I think that this presentation may be just that.
For sure, it was gentle. That was gentle because most people have to clear their emotional chakra. Most people don't know what a chakra is, but let me tell you, you have them. They're energy centers. You have emotions, folks. We can't be emotionally detached anymore. I know the wars were tough. It was hard being a baby boomer and a Gen X. I can't imagine. But we have emotions. We can feel our own feelings, and that's how it starts.
And now, with that, and I can't wait for November 30th when this goes worldwide and we can really start to see the impact of this film. But I think we're in a good spot. I think it got off to the right start, and this is the beginning of something great, and this film is going to be part of that. Now, I want to back up. I want to back up to this parking lot at Whole Foods. That's yeah.
I knew you'd go there.
How could I not? Right? It must have been an extraordinary experience.
It actually started in Finland, but it continued in New Jersey. Where you ever sit on the train, you're writing some hip hop lyrics, you get a panic attack, so you go into the middle of the hallway in between the cars of the train to catch your breath because your palm chakras are all open. And then the place where you have the yarmulke and that starts stirring, that's when you're in New Jersey.
Yes.
Should I say that again? The spot where the yarmulke, so Jews have a hat, a holy hat. And Jimmy's laughing. If you can't see, for those of you listening to the podcast, he's laughing. It's the way I'm telling the story. So at the swirly part, okay, where men go bald.
Yes.
No offense.
No, I've got hair there. No offense taken. I'm still good.
There's an explanation for that from the Hindus. The Hindus know why. You know why you lose your hair? It's not trichotillomania. It's not. It's because your Antakarana is on. Your rainbow bridge is connected to the 5D. Now they say it's the heart chakra, but it's also the 5D. It's the back of the head, and that's what happened.
And so did it just start pouring out of you? And when that connection and that information starts coming through, what was that like? How did you feel?
It felt good. It felt like someone etheric hand, some ghostly hand was massaging my big curly hair. And then, when the thing happened, it was like you're electrocuted. I can't explain it any other way.
Right.
But the Hindus know what that was too. It's called the Kundalini. It's a spinal energy, and it went up my spine. My head went back. I started hyperventilating. And how on earth does Catherine Hilaire know? Catherine Hilaire knew what was happening to her daughter, and she looked at me. She said, "You're channeling. Let's go home and record it."
Straight up.
Straight up, she did it. We had a Bob Marley poster, in the African living room of the basement with the Haitian artwork right there, and I had to lay down on the kente cloth pillow, and she had the tape recorder. She's ready. She put me to work. Yes, she did.
And how long was that first? I'm going to say session. I don't have another word.
Yeah, 21 sessions later. 21 sessions later, it's in the book, you guys, Orion Council material on Amazon, 4 parts. But Catherine, my mom, asked most of the questions in this book. My partner, Arcturus Ra, asked most of the questions in the last one on behalf of the Starseeds. But it was a lot of angels coming in. So when you have this kind of thing happen, I didn't know anything about UFOs at the time, had no interest. Because to be quite honest, in Finland, the UFO guys were they're a little bit uncomfortable for me as a female. So I was kind of staying away from the UFO community. But in America, this is hot.
Now, there, in my journey, and we hear about these different groups and channeling and different personalities coming through, and Orion sometimes gets a little bit of a bad rap, a little bit of a negative rap.
Oh, sir, it is so horrible what people have had to experience in Orion constellation. It's no wonder that Dan Winter said one of the arms of the galaxy is blown up. I'm sorry. I get the cold chills just thinking about it. And the Star Wars and Gene Roddenberry, Star Trek, and Phyllis V. Schlemmer, who channeled The Only Planet of Choice that inspired Gene Roddenberry, Star Trek, explains the soul history of so many souls that have come here to heal. And I looked at book 4, and it talks about priests coming here. Priests. So it wasn't just the Jedi Order. It wasn't just the Sith. They're also holy people. Probably their planets got blown up, stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah, I've helped a lot of people who are in hell to get out of hell. So it's been hard. It's been hard working with the negative energies of Orion.
And you didn't have a choice.
No, people say it was a pre-soul contract, which I knew when it started. I knew this is for the rest of my life. Yeah.
No, but you understand what I'm saying. This just happened, right? You didn't have a choice. This the channeling from Orion and the Council found you. You weren't out seeking, the Orion Council, and so whatever it was about, you didn't have a choice in. This was something that came to you.
Right. I wasn't burning incense trying to contact extraterrestrials, but I was playing around with mediumship. I was, for my personal gain. Never thought this would happen.
Right. And now let's start with these 21 sessions. If your knowledge of ET and contact and UFOs, well, certainly you've done stuff since with research and interfacing with people. But most of it, this is a first-time thing coming through for you, wasn't it?
Correct.
And when we look at it in those terms, did you understand what was happening and the questions that you need to turn around and relay back are going to deal with these issues?
I'm gonna jump the gun and say something that a lot of people need to hear. Starseeds.
Yes.
And to all the Kemetic starseeds, Uncle Justin, peace, love, health, and prosperity to you. You all know about the Ba, the Egyptian 9 concepts of the soul. The Ba is the personality, and so the Earth personality is not aware of the cosmic self. And this is beyond layer 7 of the auric field, the cosmic layer. To all the healers, with the heart so open, this can happen to anyone at any time, any of your clients at any time. And when those higher dimensional beings come through, they're helping us with soul integration, and that's the Ba. The Ka is the etheric double. That's what detaches from the medium to energize the astral body, which you use to travel the next dimension. And that's why mediums get so tired. I was talking to an Orion channeler at right before we had the luncheon.
Right.
I saw Jimmy. I was like, that guy's a celebrity, and I was like, don't bother that guy. So I talked to the Orion channeler lady, and Carmen Miranda's daughter, and she said she got so tired. And I said, I know, girl, I know. But getting back to the book, I was saying it was angels. So grateful to the angelic realm, because they actually helped me to understand what was going on, and it made it a lot less scary. So it wasn't like, oh, the amphibians are here. I couldn't see them. That was later.
So, but these references to these beings and angels and this connection, let's address that for a second. There were so many cultures in our past here on Earth that did make these direct references to the stars and to angels and to the heavens above. And with your communication and your guidance, this is the same thing, right? Anything that was mentioned like this in the past, going back thousands of years, they didn't have another way to speak about it either, right?
I knew you were going to ask this question. You're so intuitive. This is my favorite part of the story, which is the ancient Egyptians,
yes.
The ancient Kemetic. So, I mean, Kemet and Egypt were maybe one and the same, slightly separate. The history goes way back. Anywho, they talk about the Ogdoad. So, have you heard of the Ennead?
Yes, of course.
I sound like Vivian Chauvet. Have you heard of the Ennead?
Yes.
Sorry, the Ennead is 9, and those were the lowercase g gods. But then you had the Ogdoad of Hermopolis, the Greek version. So anyways, yeah, I just found this super cool thing, which was that just like the Orion Council, these in the pyramid text and the coffin text, they have a lot of reference to solar deities. And when these beings were contacting me, because when you open those channels, a lot of beings come in, a lot of ancient Egyptian information started to resurface. And a friend of mine, she bribed some Bedouins in Cairo and took some opioids, and she said that she saw the gods in the sky and that the pyramids are still transmitting. But anyways, that's besides the point. My point is that they worship Aten, and they told me about Helios, and I put the pieces together. These amphibious gods, also known as goddess Heket, the one of midwifery, the Greeks called her Heket,
yep.
is also called Helios in some context. That's really underground. And so this is all solar worship. And what do they actually worship? The great central sun.
Keep
so
going.
There's really nothing new under the great central sun.
Yeah, keep going. This is great. And what I've always found interesting is that when we go to, you just mentioned the pyramid text, and if we go with the Edfu text and we go with some of this great history, these great spans of time, thousands of years, and we go back to those, you said the small G's, right? And we go back and we look at what was going on. This was an imagination. Stone Age man didn't think in these concepts. They didn't create these they didn't have comic books or movies or writers, of great works of fiction to imagine these things. This was part of their reality. And they documented this not only in the pyramid text, but in the Edfu text. It is clearly there going back at least 10,000 years. And now, but the other part of this is when the Greeks came in, Heliopolis and Helios, the Greek versions of this stuff carried over to Greece. The Roman versions of this carried over to Rome and continued on through all of this Hermeticism and this knowledge that was going down in Alexandria went all around the world.
You should be a history teacher. That was awesome.
But yes, right? Well, this is what you're referencing here, though. And when we say and hear like Helios, we need to understand what is really going on. I'm going to Heliopolis in March. I'm very excited about this. Heading over there with Billy Carson. But this is one of my focuses to go and look at all of these concepts that have been going around for 10,000 years.
For sure. We have to rewrite the history books from Atlantis to Egypt to Greece, back to Egypt. I'm just joking. And for those of us reincarnated Dorians from Heliopolis, all those old Corinthians coming back, they preserve the knowledge in the great library of Alexandria. And they just rebuilt the library of Alexandria. So I talked to some people from Alexandria, and they said, oh, the education here is terrible. I said, people, you don't know you're sitting on gold.
Yeah, absolutely. So when these channels started to come through, specifically from the Orion Council, and there's references to Egypt there, what are we suggesting? The Orion Council is connected directly to Egypt, and the Egyptian knowledge that is preserved for us today came from somewhere else?
The ancient Egyptians must have known about these ultra-terrestrials, obviously extraterrestrials, but see, ultra-terrestrials have started to come in my dreams. How to explain that? Well, an ultra-terrestrial can implant a holographic sequence into your mind, and you can have the awareness that they're doing so, to teach, to inspire, to help. And this being was doing the same thing that another cone-headed being. It's funny, he's called Zora, but I don't watch sci-fi, just Fifth Element. And they're from Orion, and they're contacting me. And so, of course, we have the pyramids of Giza reflecting the belt of Orion, which Stan Romanek in J3 Films Part 1 Extraordinary. The Stan Romanek story explained that his contact said that they come through a gateway in the belt of Mintaka Al-Nilam Al-Nitak. Word, but my council's coming from Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse, and who knows why? I don't know why. I have to ask them. I have to check the books. We're actually just starting to study the material on the Orion Council Instagram page. However, the coolest thing in book 2, what they said, is that there was a client that I had who came from Universe 7, and I'm not going to go into that, but I just want everyone to know that Jacqueline Smith also told Miguel Mendoza, we're in the same book, Meet the Hybrids, that she is from a Universe 7. So I'm not making it up. So the ancient Egyptians, I think they had this mapped out. I mean, look at all the hieroglyphs. They must have had a lot of information.
Now, wait a minute. Betelgeuse?
That's where they're broadcasting from. But some of them are around the planet.
And I meant to get into this last night with Vivian. I didn't. But let's discuss this right now. Specifically, you just said some are around the planet. But are you channeling from around the planet, or is most of it coming from Betelgeuse?
In the beginning, they were saying Betelgeuse. So I'm guessing that's where they're focused, their home, their council meetings, because in a regression it was on another planet. So in my hypnosis sessions, I'm not on a spacecraft, but my partner did have a dream about me waking up on a spacecraft getting fixed by the Greys, which I don't have conscious memory of. But they kept saying we are also around your planet. But when they say we, they could also mean ETs. We.
Sure. Did you know what Betelgeuse was?
Not at all.
I just started.
Knew it was the brightest star.
But you this just had you ever said Betelgeuse before in your life before this channeling?
Just in the movie, the guy with the bad teeth.
Yeah, right. Exactly. right. Which is my point. That's pretty fascinating.
So what you're asking is, how did you know? Was that vocabulary implanted in your consciousness? Good question, because throughout the past 10 years, there have been the archangelic beings. They've said stuff that I didn't know about. So they said, for instance, I didn't know what duat was. And duat is it's what the First Nations people of Australia call the dream spell.
Yes.
But some people refer to it, believe it could be the astral plane.
Mm-hmm.
So this illusory, in Arabic, it's called dunya. So the temporal world. A lot of the hip hoppers in Egypt say dunya. So anyways, these words I did not know. So I knew that the channeling was for real.
Right.
But yeah.
No. Please continue. I feel like I'm interrupting, but the channeling sessions, you did 21. were you fully conscious in these channeling sessions? And do you remember what you channeled?
I was not fully conscious. I was in a median level.
Right.
So I was not in a deep trance like Raw Material, Carla Ruckert, Edgar Casey. I was not that deep and out, but I was not data streaming. I was not using my third eye.
Right.
And they said that I would move over to the left, and I totally forgot what I said. Because when you're in the channel, you with the higher guides, you know full concepts. But after moving to Sedona, obviously the energy here is very high because of the crystals and vortexes and no radiation, and so the information got more complicated. And so because when you have archangelic consciousness, I choose not to channel them because it makes you sweat, and it literally it burns you up. That's ascension. Ascension in the past could burn your physical vessel, like in the story of Christ had to actually leave the body to go into light body. And I think what is happening with the Orion Council saying is that we're ascending with the planet. So we're becoming these ascended master type creatures. We're getting those siddhi yogic skills activated for those of us who have our hearts open and whatnot. And so that was simple stuff. So like, yeah, the concepts in book 1 are kind of beginner stuff, like level 1.
Right.
Not so nervous. But then when you get into the symbols from the 9th dimension, it gets strange.
Even for you, it was strange. And, to hear you say that, okay, it must have been strange. But are you saying, don't laugh, are you saying that your body is overheating?
Yeah. I had a client session. I'm not doing channeling now. I stopped after 10 years. This lady asked mid-channel, because they were just getting Orion Council messages. I wasn't promising anything else. And she invoked Archangel Ariel because Ariel came through in the book, or consciousness that claimed to be Ariel came through in the book. And I was being totally of unconditional service to my client. And so I had no ego there. So I was, in my mind, I was like, okay, let's go. And then the hyperventilating started. I was sweating out the armpit. It was horrible. My shirt was soaked. I have total respect now.
Yeah, total respect. I mean, could you feel it in your skin? I mean, you could feel the heat? I mean, that must be scary. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's it's hard to explain. There was one time with the council and the angels with my mom where I felt like my body was made of air molecules. I felt so ethereal. I felt like I was a cloud of air, and that was probably one of the higher bodies.
Right. Let's take our break right here. What a great conversation. This is Fade to Black. I am... David Pendleton says, Jimmy, don't say Beetlejuice again. 2's the limit. Right? I saw that movie. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More with Krista after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. This is Jimmy Church, and I invite you to attend the 20th Annual Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo live and in person this September 17th, 18th, and 19th at the LAX Airport Hilton. Connect with exhibitors, community, thought leaders, and friends as we begin to recreate the world. You can also watch the expo from the comfort of your own home. Live stream from the main stage in Los Angeles and from the main stage in London. Truly a global simulcast event broadcast around the world. Live stream and in-person expo tickets are available now. I'll be your host all weekend long from Los Angeles. And on Friday, it's my Ancient Secrets and Earth Mysteries themed segment with James Keenan, Caroline Corey, and William Henry. And on Saturday, Daniel Sheen and I sit down for a one-on-one interview live. We have an amazing lineup of 25 speakers, including Bashar, Gail Thackeray, Kimberly Meredith, Whitley Strieber, Stephen Bassett, Daniel Brinkley, and Lisa Garr. Please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and info. That's ConsciousLifeExpo.com and use that promo code Jimmy for a special discount. Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Now, 3 first-time guests this week. Last night, Vivian Chauvet. Tonight, Krista Raisa is here. Tomorrow night, Timothy Alberini. Get ready for all of that. Thursday night is another Fader night with open lines all night long. Thursday night, I am going to go through my camera roll, Brad Harris's camera roll, and others from the Conscious Life Expo, and do a little bit of a recap of the events from this week, and it was a great time. But our guest tonight, Krista Raisa. And now, Krista, what I want to jump into now is messages for the world and where we are right now. The talk of UFOs, UAP, disclosure, the government, the media, the military, seems to be, a part of pop culture today. It's out there. People are talking about this. And our community is excited. It's great.
but there's another part to this, and is the Orion Council aware of the conversation that is happening around the world right now with contact?
People keep asking me, Krista, why does Orion Council mid-channel say Area 51 is active? Why do they keep saying that? It was almost like a computer voice coming through.
Right.
And then not only a few years later, they had that Area 51 raid where, do you remember a bunch of millennials went?
Oh, yes.
At a picnic. So thanks to Emery Smith, we know all about these bases. The old timers are just consuming this like candy. This is so obvious. But most people who came to me for these sessions were saying, this is my first session ever I felt guided to. And so I was really meeting with people who had absolutely no idea about any of this stuff. So they would drop these sorts of hints throughout the years over and over and over and over again. Where these codes came in from the galactic symbols, those came from these felines. And these felines, Leia Capitelli in Australia said there was a group that she met in Dreamtime that in the astral plane had just joined the Galactic Federation. Now, Erica Wake said we can't call it that anymore. We have to call it Star Council. So whatever you want to call it is cool. But basically, long story short, is there's a huge committee in outer space. If you have some military goggles, just for those international listeners here in the United States, people pay about $4,000 or they borrow their friend's military goggle.
Night vision. Night vision, yes.
Correct, right.
Everybody in Sedona's got night vision.
They really do.
They do.
They really do.
They do.
Nick, Michael, Rob, Melinda, who's in the movie, guys, Melinda Perry. And when you look, you are going to cry, people. You're going to cry. So if you're a nice person, the goggles will work for you. And I'm just saying that for Starseeds because I saw a fleet. We were looking for the Travis Walton pickup spot, going camping with John Polk too. And first they blip in the sky, and John said they're checking you. Then when you're calm enough, they notice you're not going to freak out. Is another one will show up, and another one. And soon enough, they're going to start moving in this non-trajectory, non-satellite style trajectory, and do squiggly moves in the air. And when you see a fleet, now that's when I just could not, it looked like 60 stars in alignment, and then 20 of them moved down in a perfect formation. They are highly, highly organized. And you're telling me regular people can't see this? Obviously we have social media. Obviously we have Instagram where the guy flips out, and it's a funny, the dad's flipping out. But regular people, I mean, they're watching Ancient Aliens in Finland now, but regular people cannot see this with their regular eyes.
Right.
So is that a conspiracy? Well, if you believe what Wilcox said, mass hypnosis, possibly. I mean, is mind control a weapon? I asked my brother. My brother's in the military. Is mind control a weapon? It could be a crime against humanity. I don't know. But we're breaking through this. Our consciousness. Orion Council predicted. They said in book number 3, walls are coming down. Walls are coming down. And it wasn't the walls of Jericho. William Henry said the walls of Jericho came down with Gabriel's trumpet. This is not what they're talking about. They're talking about our brain and those crusted particles of calcification in the pineal gland may be holding us back from the fluoride. Rockefeller put sulfur in our water supply, took the sulfur out of the water supply in the 60s. That's a crime against humanity. That's politics.
But yes, I agree with most of what you just said. But is the Orion Council aware of what the United States Senate is talking about now to the masses, and the Department of Defense and UAPs, and how this is being handled? Because this is now a worldwide conversation. It's never been there before. And I say this with much respect. I've talked to many channelers. I've talked to many people that are in contact, and we have wanted this conversation to go mainstream, but it's always been inside of our community, right? Okay. Today it's a different story, and now certainly through this film. Is the Orion Council aware of the conversation that is happening in popular culture outside of Starseed Oracle, Krista Raisa, and others?
Krista Raisa would personally read it in that context for sure.
Right.
They asked, the people ask about Trump. They ask about Keshe. Why is Keshe video taken down when he builds stuff that helps with immunity? The community is aware of these things, and Orion Council responds in metaphor. However, they gave us grid points in 2014, which were old grid points, such as Colorado Springs underground base, and if it wasn't for Sierra Neblina, Krista Raisa wouldn't know that was an underground base that she actually visited. And it's in Jack's book, Jack Roth from J3 Films, he has about in his UFO book. So there's no way on God's green earth that I could know about that. So why would they talk about stuff? They told a lady getting a divorce about going to Kali Temple. They gave the grid points. And then I Googled it. I thought, if this is in the Atlantic Ocean, I'm gonna get fired from my job. But I looked it up on Google. It was this Kali temple, and she was getting abused by her husband. So anyways, is that political? Well, Nithyananda, Paramahansa Nithyananda said the United Nations recognizes the persecution of Hindus. And so whenever you say something like that, it's very concerning to me, because you're talking about a warlike mentality of oppressing a group of humans.
Right.
And the Greys that contacted Matilda McElroy, this one being there, they're saying, oh, you Isbies are just gonna conquer each other back and forth for eternity, and that there's this gate where you can't get through, you'll recycle your soul. So there are people, military soldiers who are scared of their soul getting recycled. And what I want to say about that is, your soul doesn't get zapped. You can't listen to, you have to learn about dimensions, Hinduism, spirituality, because if you're just operating in the third dimension, you're not going to understand anything. You're just going to be in fight or flight reptilian mode all day. So why Orion Council says you have to get rid of the warlike mentality is so that we can make first contact with this federation, this Star Council. First of all, for safety reasons. They don't freak people out, and they don't talk about war and things like this, because this is just, I think if you're incarnated here personally, you already know how much of a underdeveloped planet this is. Michio Kaku calls it level 0. The Hebrews and Hindus say it's on 1 inch up a 10-inch scale as far as intelligence. So when people talk about military intelligence, I'm just laughing, because in Procyon, where I have an incarnation in Myra planet Procyon, and Sheldon Idle explains that Procyonians have such a developed weapons technology, they don't want to give it to Earth because Earth are like kids, and Vivian Chauvet says the same thing. It's the blue pearl, but the Earth people are children, and that sounds condescending to the biblical narrative, because the biblical narrative is reading the Bible as prophecy. But when you listen to Erich von Däniken, he's saying that the ETs wrote your book. So if ETs wrote your book, my next question is, which ETs wrote your book, and are they third dimensional ET? That's all.
Yeah. Stay right there. I was so into that statement, because we couldn't handle it. We couldn't handle anything. Weapons are just basic intelligence, because whatever is coming here, we're not going there. Okay, Krista, we're not going. We don't have that ability. We're not there yet. But if something is so technically advanced that they can reach out to us through entanglement, channeling from great distances, and then turn around and visit this planet, which they've been doing for thousands of years, that's way beyond anything we can comprehend, weapons or otherwise. So to say it's not an insult, to say that we're 1 inch on a 10-inch scale, right, that we're a zero civilization, as Michio Kaku labels us, that's just where we are. We're not mature enough to deal with anything that could come at us. We just don't understand it. And that's not condescending. That's just a fact of life.
Right. So if you think about the Orion system and, blowing up planets, things like that, we have the Superman narrative with Planet Maldek being the asteroid belts, and people, if you get a panic attack in these Tom Cruise movies, but you were there, but to say this is level 1, level 0, what we're saying is you can't just split an atom. You can't just blow up your own self. And coming here, I wanted to keep it positive. My oracle said talk about goodness, but I have to say this. People here hurt themselves. They don't honor life, and there's so much. This is why we do this stuff. This is why we're talking. And as far as weapons defense, because obviously tomorrow's guest is going to know all about that. I'm here to share about gateways and portals and hotspots and help people to awaken their higher chakras, so their energy centers beyond the throat, their sixth sense in the crown, to the 8th and 9th layers, so that you for yourself can contribute. You do not have to be a victim of a political statement. You do not have to be submissive to somebody, based on their size. And humans are extremely, human genes are extremely important in the galaxy. There is, Matias Estefano, he explained the potential of humans and what you can do in this body is the emotional range. It's incredible. And that's why we're here. That's why we've incarnated. So we do have, of course, all life forms have a self-defense mechanism, and I'm sure things get triggered when it's automated in self-defense, but it's very different to defend yourself than just to go and attack life forms. And what I want to say about that is, because people are worried about animals, is sorry to say, but the animals don't really have a developed astral body. They develop differently. Their soul evolution is different from humans. So I just want to say that, and I think that there's a science to all of this, and there are rules and instructions. And so the Orion really represents a lot of the legal terms and conditions of the galaxy, which people need to be aware of.
Now, why is it that it took us to the point as a planet, and especially right now, and the internet and social media has so much to do with this, where rapidly, it didn't take long, took a couple of years, everything is polarized. We can see now. We can see the good side. We can see the bad side. We can see the negative. We can see, and everything is completely divided. And I don't know how we can mend that bridge in the middle and bring us all back together once again. We've always been a little strange, but now we've just jumped off the cliff, right? And we all see it. We all know it. We all recognize it. And nobody seems to want to do anything about it. It's amazing to me, right? And that's exactly what you're talking about. And we know how to be good, right? And we know, right? And right now, nobody gives a crap. It's like, let's start a fight. Let's red pill each other. Let's figure out a way to create an argument where there isn't one. How did we get to this point, Krista?
Oh, this is a very good question. We should have learned this by age 6. I talked to someone like, did you ever have well, maybe you didn't because you're a boy, but did you ever have a journal, a diary? I was going to say a diary, super magic diary.
No, I'm a dude. Dudes don't. No, we don't journal. We
No
don't.
charm
We
and
don't.
locket that you put on your necklace. Okay, so yeah, so this girl and me were saying that we were writing in our diaries, "I am good, I am not bad," and that's moralistic thinking that's developed in first grade. So we're implanted by the holy books or our parents, teacher, priests. Or we're just psychologically at that level where we know this is right and this is wrong. So yeah, the question is to most people, do you think in those terms? And the answer is, again, is Hinduism. Is called Tantra Yoga. It's not the sexy thing. It's called celestial hierarchy, which the Keys of Enoch actually translates through J.J. Hurtak and Desiree Hurtak of Jewish mysticism. So anyway, he's an experiencer, but the dualism they explain exists in the sixth dimension. And so what that implies is that there are multiple levels to our universe where this is no longer a concept. And so in your soul's evolution, you can move beyond that sort of first grade thought. And I'm not making fun of first graders. First graders are smart kids. The point of saying that is we have these auric layers, like our emotional body, that are connected to those thoughts. So if you haven't resolved something, if you haven't resolved a trauma from when you're age 4, age 7, it will come up. And the reason I'm saying that is because you have to clear those traumas so that you can access this higher consciousness and evolve with everybody else. And so that's what Orion Council is really saying, is there stuff going on? Your planet is doing this thing called ascending. And Wilcock found the photon belt explanation. So anyways, as we're moving through the universe and we're cycling, we go through these pockets. And so what souls experience are not only just portals and gaps and Bermuda Triangles, but there are windows for your soul. Like on ayahuasca, people experience this right now with the mass I call it, in my rap song, I call it the flu. But anyways, I'm not going to go there because I have medicine for that. But anyways, my point is that a lot of souls, it seems to have, there's a window for them to leave. And am I going too far out?
No, stay right there. Stay right there.
Wow. So you actually have sovereignty, and the Catholic Church is very worried about this. The Vatican, they're very. If you've ever seen Paranormal Witness or these shows about like black magic and sigils and bad stuff,
possession, yes.
Yes, and the priest knows. So this would be a prime example of that's bad. But what we're talking about, what I'm trying to demonstrate for the world is that this is like a conscious possession. Right. The teaching is that of sovereignty. So when you claim your sovereignty over your divinity, you have will, and kids have that. Right? Kids, when you're 3 years old, you're like, that's my dad, that's my mom, that's my toy. You're very strong about what's your house. A 6-year-old said to me, I have a house and I have a car and I have 5 rooms, and his parents hooked it up, but he was like, that's mine. Are you gonna be my babysitter? It was so cute. So once people get over this, that's my planet, or that's my wife. Sorry. Then we learn about sharing, right? Then we can move forward into the cool stuff and the magic.
And the part of this that I see happening is, and the direct reference to our maturity, right? That we're kids. I kind of look at the world right now, and I'm wondering what the Orion Council says about this. I think we're about 21 years old. We're about 21, where you've partied, right? You got your teenage years out. Now you're 21, and you're starting to think about the rest of your life and your importance here, and starting to get real, right? Let's get serious. The partying's over. Now we need to start to grow up. You know, that critical stage, 20, 21 years old. I think that's where we are as a planet right now.
Hey, so good that you mentioned this. This is explained in Maslow's lifespan theory in psychology, which explains that at age 20, we're thinking about God a lot.
Yes, we are. I did.
Are you goth?
Am I goth? I was.
Yeah. Exactly. If Finnish people know all about that, Rammstein, Nightwish, heavy metal.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Love it.
Exactly.
Love me some Rammstein, by the way.
Lord, my friend who was goth, she was seeing ghosts, and that's normal. So if you're wondering what the heck is death, what the heck is life, it's totally normal when you're 20. And my generation is Pluto and Scorpio generation, which deals with sex, death, and psychic abilities. So the soup du jour for anyone born between 1982 to 1995 are these scorpionic concepts of psychic ability, death, and sex. So I agree that I can at least speak on, I cannot speak for everybody, but you're probably channeling, yes, confirmed. This makes sense.
It does. It does. Are you hip to Hypocrisy, the band?
No, I never heard. What's that?
Okay. Well, they're from Sweden, so not Finland, but close. But another band in that genre, and the singer had a long-running band with Till Lindemann, the singer for Rammstein. But Hypocrisy, their songs are about our conversation that we're having right now. Heavy metal, man. Heavy metal.
I just spilled my oracle cards. Yeah, they're anthropologists. They really are.
Oh, you have no idea. And the new album that's about to drop, I won't get into too many details, but the cover of the album, I think I can disclose this. I've had it for about a year. Peter, if you're listening, don't be mad at me. The cover of the album is a Mayan pyramid with worshipers in front of it, thousands, and then in the back of is a little gray ET, and that's all I'm gonna say. But that's the cover of the album, right? It's exactly what we're talking about right now. I need to take our break. We will continue all of this when we come back. Our guest tonight, Krista Raisa, is with us. We're going to continue our conversation when we come back. Also, I'm going to talk about these. What? I'll be right back.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to wtih.com. That's wtih.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to wtih.com. That's wtih.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to gettheti.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's gettheti.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRAradio.com.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard, available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Gold loves chaos, uncertainty, and disarray. History shows us what gold does when people aren't sure about the government, the stock market, their jobs, or their retirement savings. Our national debt is skyrocketing. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against inflation and a stock market that might take years to recover. So what can you do right now to protect yourself? Call United Gold Group. We offer gold and other precious metals delivered securely within 72 hours. Are you worried about the stock market? We can also help you set up a real gold or silver IRA or a 401k. Safe and secure. United Gold Group makes gold ownership affordable. Call now and get up to $2,500 in free gold or silver with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534 or visit unitedgoldgroup.com.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Krista Raisa is with us, live from Helsinki, Finland. She says she's in Sedona. I see the snow outside behind her in the window. Yes, I see it. You see, Sedona. Helsinki. You know,
covering up my igloo
and
a polar bear.
Yes. I see the sled dogs. So we bring up hypocrisy and Peter Takrin, and I'm watching the chat. What? You know, Peter? Yeah. I mean, Hypocrisy, just an amazing band. And if there's plenty of pictures out there of Peter and I together on the net, if you want to go check those out. I posted many of them over the years. But, okay, I want to talk about making contact, if we can. And I just showed these to the camera before the break. Here, I'll show these to you. Okay. These are some radios, just walkie-talkies, amateur radio walkie-talkies, but professional. Very cool. And there is a technique now to make contact through these. So I was gifted these through Mark Sims. but there is a way to make contact. Yeah, with these. And I'm very excited. I've got them charged up and we're getting ready to start doing this. And I'm pretty excited. I hope it works, right? Now they're saying
it works. I did one with Mark and my friend Zanka at Exo Metaverse. So yeah, Mark.
She is so cool. You know her.
Frequency mode. We have them at home.
Oh, she's showing up. She showed me the same exact radios. Are you making contact with them?
Are we making contact? Yeah, we're making contact. Zank and Mark sent a message to Andromeda Galaxy with our names in a sacred geometry because, well, I know that Andromeda Galaxy is getting closer to our Milky Way one, but it responds when you ask a yes or no question, and it will especially get active during a CE5.
Oh, so I'm so into this. You know, Mark Sims is pretty cool. Zanka is a whole nother level of cool. I mean, it's way up here.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, I know, right?
Look at Mark. Just look at that. Look at that. Zanka has gamma burst in her brain. Anyway.
Yeah. I just we just did a dinner last night. Was it 2 nights ago now? No, I was on the air last night. It was 2 nights ago. Anyway, I'm very excited about this, Krista.
Do you remember, because we were talking C5, might as well mention Stephen Greer. Did you remember that app? It was called ET Contact Tool.
Yep.
Did you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I couldn't find it anymore. And it used to be $7, but he put the crop circle sounds in the app. And that works when, it just works whenever. It's worked for three contact we've seen craft. I mean,
Wow. No, I had the app, but I never had a chance to use it. I truly believe when we're talking about making contact here, I don't know what's going on, but I truly believe that, and I know Mark has got his protocols and I've seen how he does it. I don't do it that way. I don't get into the Zen state. I'm not meditating. I'm partying with my friends. Right? I'm out. We're loud. We're playing Van Halen. You would probably, isn't M&M's like a fresh, cool thing to do, right?
M&M is right in the middle. You went right in the middle there.
The other day, hold on. I meant to mention this on the air. I didn't do it. The other day, I'm in the middle of a pretty long drive, and I'm on the freeway for a couple of hours, and I listened to M&M for about 30 minutes. And I needed to say this, and I kept forgetting. I've always respected him. But I got to the end of that 30 minutes, and I thought that I just listened to the greatest pieces of music ever recorded. That dude, I don't know where it comes from. I don't.
He said, I'm not Mr. NSYNC. I'm not what your friends think. I'm not Mr. Friendly. I can be a Rick. And he's blatantly honest. They love him in Egypt. He's blatantly honest, which you feel safe. You feel safe with people like that. So I haven't gone as far to check his album covers, but for certain Busta Rhymes, Killer Priest, their covers were predicting 9/11. Rap and hip hop and lyrics and any type of music, lyrical music is a great way to prophecy.
Yeah, I went through, and I know I'm this heavy metal guy, and I am. I don't hide that. Look at the guitars, that adorn this studio. I'm a heavy metal guy. Okay, great. But I went through, especially the old days, I went through a hip hop thing and I couldn't escape it. And started with the Beastie Boys. All right. It's like that's the low dose. But I still think.
Started with the Beastie Boys.
What? Look. Paul's Boutique. Does it get any greater than that album? It really doesn't. But Ice Cube, Death Certificate. That album changed me. NWA changed me. And I thought about the artistic side of the creativity of what was going down there. and how this creativity was happening. Oh, it was happening from the streets. Well, yes, it was. But you go and you listen to, there was anger, there was comedy. I mean, if you listen to Death Certificate or NWA, very serious social commentary there, but also pretty funny, right? And there was this outlet that came out, and I got into it. I did. I couldn't escape it. I couldn't. Ice-T. Man.
Ice-T, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, she died way too young. They were saying a lot of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, evil is real, but the darkness, it's really here to serve the light. So you could never. We just have to keep being a warrior.
That's exactly. See, but that's the correct way to look at it. That right there. It may be angry, right? It may be, but you need that. What are you just going to choose to ignore it? And that part, there are parts of this society that are oppressed and are fighting it, and they're angry and they're yelling as loud as they can to be heard, and if you've got to do it that way, then they do it that way. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, but then again, and then you go watch Eminem in the movie The Interview. Do you remember that? Do you remember Eminem?
No, I did. No, tell.
There's a scene. So Franco is a talk show host, and so he's interviewing Eminem. And it is, so anyway, but the point is, Eminem goes, well, but it's not about that. And, the way that I write and stuff, but it comes from the point of view of a gay man. He goes, what? And he goes, did you say gay man? Yeah, I'm gay, right? Eminem goes, it's all in my lyrics. If you go and he goes, oh my God. He goes, yes, what's wrong? And I need to get this out, but there's nothing wrong with being gay. And I'm thinking, that's exactly my point, is the genius behind that, getting the comedy side of it in, but to have Eminem straight face this into the camera.
Okay, so why do they do it? So, okay, right. This happened in front of mine. So... And I had to call it out on YouTube. I had to be in the comments. You know when you're watching your celebrity friend blow up on YouTube, you're in the comments like quick. In the live chat like quickly. Because they put really tight pants on my friend he grew up with Tupac, he grew up with Biggie Smalls, and I said, well, the tighter the pants, the sweeter the song.
And you're straight facing it. Yeah, right.
You pick your picks.
Yeah, yep. Okay, how did we get off on hip hop? How did that happen? Oh, I was driving. Okay, I don't know how we did that. Let's swing this back to Contact. Oh man, what a great conversation. Okay, is Contact happening right now? Not with this, right? I'm talking about what society. Are these pilots seeing ET? Are they seeing something else? Is this a way to, as Vivian put it last night, to baby step our way into this? These sightings that we are having, night vision, things, pilots, video. Is this contact, or are we seeing a version of ourselves that we're maybe misidentifying?
Well, what's a pilot's salary? One of my best friends in Finland, she's always said, "Ooh, I like pilots. Ooh, I like to dress up like a flight attendant." I said, "Girl, what are you talking about?"
Right.
You know why? Because pilots are rich. And I'm saying that for a reason. So if you have a certain pay grade, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, anything. You could be a rapper, you could be a heavy metal rock star, you could be a genius. You at certain pay grade, it's a hush hush. It's your lips are zipped closed. You are not allowed to say, and that's when the rituals start. So I have not gone deep down that rabbit hole, but I just want to say for those who, on the other side of the planet, is the glamour stuff you see on social media, the glamour stuff that they portray, media was the Greek goddess of illusion. So that all that stuff is not what you think. So if you have to have a cape and you have to dress up like a Knights Templar with a sword, I don't really know about all that. You have to worship an owl statue. I don't really know about all those things, if that's really kosher. So so if I were an extraterrestrial contacting Earth, and I'm I have a big silvery head with kaleidoscope rainbow eyes, like the Beatles said, the girl with kaleidoscope eye, and I had a little, the little neck, the little rolled up neck collar.
Yes.
Right? It's just so silly. Like, that's not real. It's real. And they have these little spinny yellow things. They're memory devices. They hold up little memory devices to you so you remember stuff. So now if I was that person with that happy little yardstick and my silver outfit contacting humans, if my head was that big and my brain was so big, I think I would recognize. I think I would have the awareness and the psychic insight to see, just who I'm dealing with. And so when you're like, okay, are people being contacted? Free Society said about some 60 or 70% of Americans believe. Like, what do you like? Believe in God? No, they believe in spacecraft.
Yes, they do.
And if Americans believe Americans are in the micro channelings, like Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough, they're. I know I'm nerding out, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being nice to me. I'm like really excited. So these channelers are saying that a lot of Americans are teenage souls. So when Jimmy was saying that Earth is age 21, he could be, you might have been saying that about the emotional level or just the level of knowledge and so on and so on. It's not bad. It's like you just starting a college degree. So I do apologize.
But that's
fast.
You got that though. You understood what I was saying. No, you get it. You said it right. It's on every level. It's intellectual. It's emotionally. When you're ready to take the next step, I don't know when everybody does it, but there's a point in your life where you go, you know what? Okay, it's time to get serious, right? And that's where we're at. Usually that happens around 21. 22. Is 22 too late to the party, right? Right?
Is it the cursed age is for rock stars? The cursed age is 27, right?
Yes, it seems to be.
Bad.
Yes.
I talk to people. I help people who are around age 30, because they're going through what the astrologers call this thing called the dark night of the soul. Like, all the goths are like, yeah, no. You do not know. You faded to black, but it gets blacker than that. and there's a way out of that. There's a way out, and you're gonna be fine. You will get through this. If not, you just reincarnate. But seriously, it's like what did Robert Peralta, he called it a life review. Carlos Castaneda Taisha Abelard calls it recapitulation.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're 22, it's not too late. You can recapitulate. Go back to your do the journaling, boys. Get the journal.
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't no journaling going on around here. Ain't no journaling happen. But and who's in the background laughing at me?
A man who doesn't journal. Do you journal?
Yeah. No, he doesn't.
Journals.
Oh, he said that for you. Show me your journal. Show me your journal.
That's why you have a girlfriend.
Show me your journal. No, there ain't no.
He bought me. That's his friend. So he bought me a notebook. We had a telepathy. See. So when you learn to get along with girls, you have cool stuff happening. You get telepathic. And I was channeling, all this extraterrestrial. And he goes to the gas station that's Arcturus Ra. And he goes, Zoop, I need to get Chris.
What? That's Ra? Ra is in the room?
Yeah.
Right now, Ra is there.
Your Ra's right here, yeah.
My Ra.
Yeah.
Ra, get over here. Get your slappy butt.
Jimmy, what's happening?
My goodness gracious. How are you, my friend?
I am mostly enjoying this interview.
Hey, check this out. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Crazy town.
Hey, Rob, look at the camera.
Yeah. Oh, we got the pendant.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Rob, look at the camera.
Okay.
My man.
Yeah. You're safe
how
now.
You doing?
Got my phone chip.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Excellent. Yeah.
Now, I didn't know that Rob was in the background. And
I'm in the building.
Yeah, Krista behaving. And I don't want to interrupt Krista's interview here, but you just got back from a road trip.
Oh my God. Eric and I have, just to keep it short, and we'll come on your show whenever you want to.
Yes.
We have stories to tell you, blows your lid off.
Now, so you guys went to Blind Frog Ranch.
Absolutely.
I saw the videos. You guys were shooting constantly, and Eric's probably listening right now, saying, okay, Rod, don't give it all away, man. Don't give it all. So we're not going to do that.
No. We'll tease him here.
Yes, let's do the teaser.
Yeah.
Let's do the teaser. I saw the videos. You guys saw some incredible stuff.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. We heard, like, I was never deep into the Sasquatch. I always was a believer and I always admired the shows, but I wasn't really a researcher. Little did I know that on our road trip, a dude would come close enough to growl at us.
Yes, I heard all about it.
We got it on tape.
Yes. And I listened to some of it. I can't wait for you guys to come on the show. Now, I'm going to say this, though. Ra, I'm 6 foot tall. I'm going to say Ra's probably 6'2", right?
Yeah.
Big, strapping, in shape guy. Got the bald head, intimidate. You chickened out, man. You chickened out. Eric tried to get you onto I'm not going to say where, but you let Eric go and talk to the security guards in the tower. You stayed back. And Eric goes, you chickened out.
He went to this.
Yeah. No, don't give it away. Don't give it away. But you chickened out, my man. I thought you would have been first.
What tower?
Bigfoot? No. We can't give it away.
We can't give it away.
Actually,
he snuck away from me. Eric might laugh. I didn't even know he was already on his own mission there. And before I knew it, I was like, where on the freaking property is that dude?
Yes.
Now I'm the chicken.
Eric goes on missions every day.
Yes, he is. He's way deep in it right now. I talked to him right before the show tonight. He is way north.
Yeah.
He is way north. So anyway, we'll do everything next week with both of you on the show. I look forward to that.
We can look at. I have this map.
Yeah, I wanted her to show
you
this.
Me to show you guys.
To tell people two things that I wanted to share in your interview. Why channeling is real. Ramtha Jay-Z Knight was checked by 2 different institutions. Her Gattaca code changes with the human genome, and she channels, and she got 2 pound or 4 pound heavier. Bashar goes into 11 hertz. Krista channels longitudes and latitudes that you can find on maps, and she has the book that she can show you. So I had my brain measured. I go 11 hertz. There's factual things that take place in the physical that are undeniable, that we're changing stuff. And J.J. Hertog has proven with a science book that we can scry into other dimensions by brain projections. That's scientifically fact.
You come to
There's
the
data out there.
SCQ headquarters with Mark and Jonathan in Sedona. Get your brain measured. Lincoln Gregor channel higher self. When you're channeling, you can go from 3 hertz to 45. So it's not a good or bad thing. It's just some are better for getting downloads and whatnot.
So back to Krista. I'm see you next week.
That's okay, Rob. When I eat good pasta, always 11 hertz. Okay, Rob, get out of here, man. Next week
is not a pasta.
Well done. Well played. That was Ra, everybody, and I didn't know. Ra doesn't journal. No, he does not journal. Ra, next week on the show, you better show me a few hundred pages.
6 books.
Oh, stop with all that.
I'm deep. I'll destroy it.
That was great. Thank you so much for that, Ra. This is Ra's pendant that I wear, that I was gifted, and I wear it every day, and it's with me right here in the bunker. Now, but this is the thing. Before we go, Krista, contact is important, but is there a way for the contact to happen? I'm talking direct, right? Where we're not intimidated and that we can understand these higher intelligences that we're dealing with. I think that's the crucial point. I may be able to, you might be able to at least accept it, but are they're stepping down to our level. Vivian said it really well last night. You know, you're 7D and you got to jump down to our 3D, 2D doofusness existence, right? You're coming back down to this. Is it possible, and would we understand it, and could we handle it?
Wait, remember when you were saying that you crank up the Van Halen to raise your frequency? Is it harder? Does it take more energy to talk to a doofus, or does it take more energy to rock and roll and party hard, or centered? So I was gonna mention the Mark Sims, where you focus on the pranic tube and meditate. That's what I did before we had a C5 with Emery Smith at the Contact Desert. But so their Orion Council is really going within. They're really about doing the inner work. There's a question about Trump because people were really, really frightened when he came into power. And, in America, the executive branch controls the military, and America is not really liked around the world because they've been such bullies. So a lot of people, European starseeds, were really concerned. New Zealand too, South Africa starseeds. And what the Orion Council was basically saying is that you alone can affect the reality. And they practiced this in ancient Atlantis. So when you are in control of your own mind and you're not in the external world reacting to what he said or what she did, you're what's called centered. And a lot of indigenous people know how to do this, so they will use a sacred plant medicine. But you can do what I did, which I only smoked a little bit of weed. I did create a weed oracle card deck to honor that sacred Mother Earth medicine. But
hold that up to the camera again. Let me see that. Hold on.
The weed oracle.
No, keep it up there. I just had okay, stop. Just hold it there. I got to just grab a picture of this. That is just too cool.
This is the coolest
I got it. Yeah,
ever.
I got it.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. And just, you're from Brooklyn. You have to. But that was not my in. So others do use that as that's why they called it a gateway. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's really a gateway to yourself. But you can do Kundalini yoga. You can do capoeira. You can dance. You can turn up the music and clear your house energies. You can play bells. You can open your heart singing. You can have tantric hot sex. You can do a lot of stuff. Or you can refrain. You can energize your astral body by not having sex for a very long time and actually project to the 11th dimension like William Buhlman and talk to masters. There are plenty of ways. There's like 59 pathways to ascension that David Joshua Stone found, rest in peace. And so who am I to say you do that? The age of the guru is over. Is the age about you and you as in your humanity is now. Terence McKenna predicted it in 1973. So the golden age starts, the mushrooms told him it starts in 2012. So these are just tools. Books are tools. Or divination, card decks are tools. Scrying, crystal technology as represented by Ra, infused with photons. Those are all tools. And going to the grid points for your travels, Heliopolis, you get the download. Get your soul memories back. They're all tools that we have to follow in order to activate those conscious memories of who we really are. Because if you don't know who you are, and that's an ancient African Kemetic teaching, is know thyself, then you can't know them. So it starts with here. Clear your chakras, clear your prana, do the breath stuff, do the pranayama, do all that cool stuff that your hippie aunt did. If you miss the 60s, you need to go back to the 60s. You need to rock and roll. You need to Summer of Love. You need to try something else and activate your brain. So that's the pathway to ascension. And the magic hasn't stopped. It's just about to start. The party is just about to start.
I'm so with you on that. And the map of the grid points is in which book?
Galactic Symbols from the Ninth Dimension Gatekeeper Time Codes.
Book 2. Is that book
Yes.
2? Okay.
Yes, it is book 2. It's not in the series, but it is on Amazon.
Okay.
And it's a weird book.
Now, how many grid points are on that? It's a map of the United States. Hold the map up for me so I can describe this to everybody, because I want to ask you a couple of questions about this. There it is.
Sure.
Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. About 30. Is that right? Does that feel about right? About 30? You don't have to recount, 30. but
yeah, those are the major. Those are major grid points, and then we have another minor grid point, 4 minor grid points in L.A., New Orleans, Arlington, Mass, Queens, New York, and then international grid points, so about 40. And the reason it's that number is because I had to stop. Your consciousness can go real far out, and you can get that. They're constantly broadcasting. So when you get the contact, you have to really watch yourself. You have to get back into your body. Some people have to eat meat. Some people have to barefoot go out in nature, because you can lose your mind doing this. So
sure. Now,
yes.
And what do those grid points represent? They don't all represent the same thing, but what do they represent?
A lot of them represent vortices. A lot of them are gates to other star systems. A lot of these are places where ancient priests perform rituals and where we correct our timeline. So I'm trying to figure out what that is. And the best way I could explain that is that you make certain choices in your life that it goes back to that good and bad thing, but it's the right path or the wrong path. And for initiates in this esoterica, that's why I call myself Esoterra, that's my hip hop name, Esoterra, is that there are certain levels of initiations. The Buddhists wear orange because in your dreams you may be handed some orange cloth by a master. There are many ways they can contact you. Group meditations, pyramid healing, all that cool stuff that your hippie haunted. And those levels are rules. Yes, it's physics, and that's what the Orion Council is talking to me about, because these symbols are coming from the 8th cosmic layer, but they're 9-dimensional symbols. So when we're talking about layers, we're talking about universal symbols. Tracy Taylor, who's one of the first Starseeds who came out, she came out the closet with her stuff, with her art in Australia, and she got some of the same symbols as me. I have her art on my refrigerator that she sent to us, and she has some of the same symbols, and Chief Golden Eagle knows all about this. So the Zuni, the Hopi, the Lakota Sioux, your tribal elders, they have this stuff mapped out. And the Rendlesham Forest guys, they know all about these strange symbols. They're different from the crop, but the reason they're talking to you and showing these symbols is, like, careful when you smoke weed, because those symbols are them talking, because it's easier for them to send you a symbol telepathically to your mind than a long textbook.
The symbol, or I'm sorry, the grids that are laid out there, are they accessible? Are they in remote areas? Or do some of these grid points fall on somebody's house?
Oh my God. This one guy on my YouTube said it was down the block from his neighborhood. He's like, I'm going there, so somewhere in Kansas. Was it Topeka, Kansas, or Sarasota Springs, Florida? Could have been Wisconsin, but there was this. He said there was a mount. There was this strange. When you come to the Southwest, you'll see mesas, and it's all this desert. And out of nowhere, it looks like this pyramid with the top chopped off. It looks like a landing strip for planes, where you'd have rituals and things like that. So I heard from some people who took psilocybin, they can look in. I didn't try this, but for instance, in Sedona, they say the Isis temple, it's actually there's a golden city layered over this holographically.
Yeah, I've heard that. Well, can if somebody gets the book and follows it, could you road trip, right, and go from right? Well, that's why the map is there, right?
Yes.
Have you done it?
No, I moved to the first point. I moved to Sedona.
Right.
And I heard about the Crimson Circle channeling Adamus Saint Germain, and I had actually been contacted by him with the group of elders in Finland. Strangely enough, met Arcturus Ra on YouTube. My first client introduced me to him. He sent me a pendant, extra large size. I knew he kind of liked me. We talked for 6 hours. My chakras lit up. My pranic tube turned all light. I'm like, is this a twin flame? What's that? So
he does that to a lot of people, though. He flames out a lot of people. Temperatures rise.
Of course. And so, with all due respect, Ra, you activate people's pranic sensors.
He has a way of doing that. He's laughing right now. He knows what we're talking about. But specifically going around to these points, I'm really interested in this. And so if one is a vortex area, it's a vortex, or one is a portal, should there be a warning there? Right? You don't go there and goof around.
No, exactly. If your skin starts crawling, you get goosebumps. The air gets cold. It's probably another dimensional shift.
Right.
Yeah, you guys would have to ask a ghost hunter. I'm not a ghostbuster. I don't mess around with haunted stuff. And I don't mess around with lower dimensional fairies, things like that. It creeps me out. But you might want to bring some equipment.
Yeah, and you've also got the longitude and latitude. You've got the exact points there.
I have. Some are old spots, but if you guys check out my interview with Sierra Neblina, she has a whole story. She went there. They're underground, ET, military people, machines that transport soda cans across the room, strange operations. There's lots of underground tunnels in America.
Okay, all right. Last thing I want to do before we say goodnight, I want to do a 3-card pull for me. Will you do a 3-card pull?
We have. Yes, Jimmy. This is your night with Miss Cleo. We have the Psychic Diet for your health and wellness from the Esoteric Shop. We have the Starseed Awakening Oil to help you on your path of ascension.
Can I take a choice? Can I choose my deck?
You could choose money, romance, or magic.
No, I want to go pot. I want to go the pot deck. Can I go the pot deck?
Or the cannabis.
Yeah, the weed deck.
The dank.
Yeah, can we?
The stoner.
Let's go with the dank deck. I'm going to do a 3-card pull on the dank deck.
This is a sign. So we're wrapping up the show because Spirit's like, he feels good.
You know what? That is crazy. Okay, hold on. The first card, go ahead. Tell everybody what the first card was.
Yeah, the first card is a spirit card. So mind, body, spirit. This is a spiritual card where Jimmy feels complete. He's done a full circle. He did the psychic work. The information's repeating himself. He's ready for bed.
Okay, keep that up. I'm going to take a picture of the card. Pull that back up. Okay, this is card number 1. That is awesome, man. Okay. All right. Card number 2.
All right. Card number 2 is going to be for your health and wellness.
Okay.
So I didn't ask you your age, but the 50 plus love this. They're going bananas.
They're going. So I'm automatically 50 plus.
Just, I mean, you said Van Halen.
Oh man.
Giveaway.
Oh man, that was painful. Van Halen says 50 plus automatically. Okay.
Okay, so pick my left hand or my right hand.
I'm going with. Hold on. I'm looking at your fingernails. Okay, let's go with right hand.
Here.
Yes.
This one?
Yes.
Okay, so pick a number between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
14.
26. Okay.
14.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Bam. Lotion up that dry skin.
Hold on. Let me. Oh shit.
Lather on to help dry skin.
There you go.
When you go on your UFO excursion out to Sarasota, Heliopolis, it's going to be hot Greek weather.
You know what's funny is I just got some very special. Let me just say this: I got some very special oils that are to apply to the back of your hands, right? And underneath parts of your face. I'll say that. But back of the hand, I just got that yesterday.
All right. So
yeah.
that's what it is, right? Okay.
That's pretty weird.
Cool. So
I would have never have noticed that synchronicity.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, because that helps me see that the oracle is showing what is. So it's not exactly oracular, but it's a validation of okay. So next we do you have a girlfriend, boyfriend,
Nope.
best friend?
Single.
Okay, so think of me. Think of someone who. Think of somebody who's a love interest. You don't have to say their name, but just kind of think about like, oh, I kind of have a crush on them. I really love them. I'm not really sure what the situation is, and I'm just gonna tell you what's going on with them right now. So when you have that person in mind, just tell me stop.
Stop.
Okay, so this person is feeling you.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it. Back up. Let me get the whole card in. Okay.
This person is feeling you. There's water. There's water. So I thought you might be a water sign, but this is a watery connection. Ralph Smart, he's a YouTuber. He says go for the water relationship, not the Coca-Cola relationship, because it's nurturing, it's flowy. This says empaths vibing, feeling safe at home, a kind moment and sensitivity. So this person feels comfortable with you. They like you. And that's your oracle.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. What a great show tonight. Did you have fun? Okay, now
awesome.
you know what? This is what I want. So I met 3 versions of Krista. Okay, so I meet the first version in Pasadena, and we talk. Reserved, refined, well-spoken. That's Krista number 1. So then, and she knows what I'm talking about. She knows right now. She knows exactly what I am saying. And then I meet Krista version number 2, which was earlier tonight on the show, and that was hilarious. And she says to me, she goes, Jimmy, this is Finland. This is Finland. That's your meeting. And I was laughing and not to get into specifics, but what Krista said to me earlier today, this is Krista number 2, not Krista number 1, it's Krista number 2. And she says, in Finland, we think before we speak. And I said, well, that's fine, but that's not good for radio.
And he said he imitated me. He said I did like this.
Yeah. The dramatic pause. Yes, dramatic pause. And she said, Jimmy, don't worry about the show, man. Don't worry about the show. And then tonight I meet Krista version number 3, which is the real authentic Krista. What a great night on the show. Did you have fun?
I did. Thank you. I really did.
It was just amazing. I look forward to the next time you being on with us, and at which point we can focus on one subject. Tonight, I wanted to introduce you to the world and cover all of these little things that add up to make you who you are. And then the next time you're on the show, we can just focus on one subject for a couple of hours and do the deep dive there. But what a great conversation tonight, and thank you so much.
Thanks for playing with me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to thank Ra for jumping in. And we were in danger, Krista. You know what I'm talking about. Ra will take the show over. He'll take the headphones off of your head. He'll push you to the side. And
Girl,
just
I can't even start.
Yeah, I know.
He's always jumping on me. I can't get him off.
He just has that way. He has that way. Rob, thank you so much, my man.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Love you. Bromance.
Yeah, bromance. Right? Exactly. Krista, thank you so much. It's KristaRaisa.com. The links are over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. And Stay Curly is her YouTube channel. All of that is over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Go and visit. Reach out to Krista. She's absolutely amazing. Krista, till we meet again, thank you so much. Congratulations on the film. Big things are ahead. Thank you for doing your part. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Right there. This is Fade to Black. I am going to take a quick break. Thank you, Krista. Behave and be well. And I will be back after this short message. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Very simple. Krista's links are over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. I'll be right back. I got time for a phone call or two. Stay with us.
Here, and you are listening to my boy Jimmy Church on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. This is Jimmy Church, and I invite you to attend the 20th Annual Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo live and in person this September 17th, 18th, and 19th at the LAX Airport Hilton. Connect with exhibitors, community, thought leaders, and friends as we begin to recreate the world. You can also watch the expo from the comfort of your own home. Live stream from the main stage in Los Angeles and from the main stage in London. Truly a global simulcast event broadcast around the world. Live stream and in-person expo tickets are available now. I'll be your host all weekend long from Los Angeles. And on Friday, it's my Ancient Secrets and Earth Mysteries themed segment with James Keenan, Caroline Corey, and William Henry. And on Saturday, Daniel Sheen and I sit down for a one-on-one interview live. We have an amazing lineup of 25 speakers, including Bashar, Gail Thackeray, Kimberly Meredith, Whitley Strieber, Stephen Bassett, Daniel Brinkley, Kelly and Lisa Garr. Please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and info. That's ConsciousLifeExpo.com and use that promo code Jimmy for a special discount. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B blend for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30 days free on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Krista Raisa, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Krista. Got Rod doing a drive-by. I had no idea he was sitting in the background all night, and he was pretty well behaved. He's amazing, and we will get him and an Awakening Man on the show here pretty soon. And Eric and I planned all of this out earlier. Man, it was about 2-3 weeks ago. And Eric's on a 3-week road trip out there getting it on. And I do have Eric on hold. I'm going to get to him in a second. But I wanted to say this. So, and again, thank you, Krista. Amazing conversation. I look forward to the next time that we get a chance to chat here on Fade to Black. So I jump over to the YouTube chat. I've been in the sandbox all night. And replicant talk. So I popped in and I made a little Sean Young comment. I got that in there. Okay, hold on for a second. Before these phone lines. Okay, they're going crazy. Everybody, I've got literally 5 minutes left on the show tonight. So no more phone calls. I'm going to go straight to Sean Young. Sean Young is on the line. Sean, how you doing? Oh, it's Eric, Awakening Man. Eric, how you doing, man? Where are you in the country right now?
I'm in Draper, Utah, which is, I've never been here. And if you haven't been here, it's got to be one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been to. No, I mean, Sedona's awesome, but this place is insane. It's amazing. I'm shocked.
Yeah, there's not too many bad spots in Utah, actually. You know, and they keep it a secret. They don't advertise Utah. They don't. They want to keep it to themselves. And they're not the only ones that do that. I got to tell you real quick,
you know who owns this town is the guy that's spending the money on the Skinwalker show. What's that guy's name? The head guy with the... Jeez, I can't think of his name. You know what I'm talking about? The owner of Skinwalker Ranch right now?
Oh.
Was it Brian?
No, you're talking about... hang on for a second. You're talking about...
Fugel. It's Fugel, right?
Yeah, Brandon Fugel.
Yeah, his pictures and his billboards are all over this area. I could see now where he got all his money. He probably scored in the real estate market because it just seems like he owns the market down here.
Oh, yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Okay, look, we've only got a couple of minutes left. So you've left Montana.
Yes, that was quite a trip.
Okay, we're going to get you and Ra on the show probably next week after you get back and get settled. But you went to go do some squatching.
Right. Yeah. It was quite I drove 2,300 miles to get to Montana, but obviously stopped other places on the way. But meeting Duke and getting to see the videos that he posts on YouTube actually on his computer. And as you know, the images and the videos are much more clear. They're not distorted. When they go to YouTube or Twitter or whatever, they get degraded. So I'm just seeing amazing stuff. And then this other guy from Texas comes in, William Lunsford, and this guy, as soon as I walked in the door, for 2 hours straight, he had pictures and told me stories. I didn't even have a chance to go get a beer or anything. I was just sitting there on the couch with my chin down on the floor, just looking at these pictures going, oh, my God, are you serious?
Okay, well, that's great. That's great. But what did you see squatching?
Okay, so we'll just talk about Montana. So we saw not just a few, not just several, but many, many tree structures all over the forest. We would go out and hike on average about 3 hours every day. We'd do an hour and a half in the late morning and another hour and a half, late afternoon, and we'd go into teams. We were hearing strange sounds. I personally saw took pictures of 80 to 120 foot tall pine trees just come crashing down in the forest, not less than 50 yards from where we were camping. And so I went out and investigated, and that was wild because this one tree literally the roots just came right off the roots and it just slammed into the ground. And anyway, so then we were hearing these weird noises and they would get close and then we would go into the forest and then they would stop. We'd be in the forest for an hour and a half, no sounds, nothing. And then go back to the campsite and all the sounds would start up again. And then I would walk out onto the road into like a little area where I could kind of try to spy to see if I could see something. And then I would hear maybe a tree snap really loud, but no sound, but I would hear a tree snap. So anyway, they're playing games with us, I guess. I don't know. That's what Duke says. They were there. They weren't going to get close because we were new. Me and that William Lunsford guy, that was the first time we had been there, but these other guys had been there before. And anyway, so he says next year when we go back that, we need to stay longer because it's always the third night where action happens. But unfortunately, the third night it started to snow in Montana. It was 22 degrees.
Yeah, that's too cold. That's too cold.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to go.
Well, hold on. I got to tell you one more quick story.
Dude, I've got 5 seconds. Well, we're going to get cut off the network. Okay, so 5.
All right, well, I'm going to Idaho tomorrow, and I'm meeting this lady who's going to introduce me to a guy who's got Bigfoot on his property, and that's in Pocatello, Idaho, so I'll have more to tell you about that story.
Okay, there you go. Eric, thank you so much, man. Be safe on your road trip, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Eric Awakening Man right there. He's in the middle of a 3-week squatching road trip. What a great show tonight. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Dennison, Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitello, and Mark T. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2021 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night, right here, Timothy Alvarino, right here on Fade to Black. Until then, I want everybody to be safe. It's time to fade to black.